Jon Alba here with the Commissioner of the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference, Rich Ensor. Rich, thanks so much for not just hosting this event, but for joining us today.
Oh, thanks, John. It was really important for us that we welcome Quinnipiac into the league in a big-time manner. There's nothing bigger or better than the Basketball Hall of Fame. So we're very proud of our relationship here. We do exempt events with them in the preseason space. We've had this exhibit for the last 2 years and just extended through 2017. And we're hosting, hopefully, NCAA events with them. So we have a great relationship, and we thought it was time to introduce the Quinnipiac fans to that relationship.
So why did you feel that it's time to introduce the Quinnipiac fans? What entices you about Quinnipiac?
Well, there's a couple of factors to that. Obviously, they've grown a great program over the years, from the time they were in D2 and through the Northeast Conference, which was a great home for them. And we had a relationship going back in the hockey days when we hosted a hockey league when they first moved into D1. So we've had that relationship. I think the thing about that kind of sets the MAAC apart in the mid-majors is the fact that we really focus on basketball all year round. And we thought the best way, a month into your membership in the league, was to have a big event to let your fans know that basketball season's coming and we're on top of it.
Now, one of the things that a lot of Quinnipiac fans may not be used to is the extensive coverage that the MAAC provides on television, on the internet, for events. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. Well, we have about 45 game package. We're still in the final phases of settling it for this year, but it'll be about 45 plus games on ESPNU and ESPN3 and one regular season on ESPN2. We've had that relationship now for almost 20 years. We got involved with ESPNU when it was still being talked about, and that relationship gave us the Friday night window that we really enjoy having. And then when ESPN3 came online, we got involved very early with them and have grown that relationship. It ties into Disney because we work with Disney Sports, and they have an ESPN3 studio at Disney. So in a couple of weeks, all the basketball coaches and the staff will be there working on filming for the upcoming season. We're going to do a live 2-hour show probably on September 11th. We haven't announced it yet, but it'll be on ESPN3, and it'll have all the coaches and analysis, and we're going to announce our basketball schedule for broadcasting. And then last week we announced a new deal with New Line, and we're going to have over 400 HD broadcasts on the New Line platform. Quinnipiac's not part of that, but your fans will have access to it because they'll want to see your teams on the road. And it's not just basketball, although a lot of it is.
Absolutely. It's a great way for the fans to keep in contact with the MAAC at all times. Now, lastly, I just want to ask you this. You added not just Quinnipiac, but Monmouth as well. What was the conference's goal with adding 2 schools?
Well, we were looking for the best possible expansion schools that fit the MAAC model. And it came down to, at the end, to about 3 or 4 schools. But Quinnipiac and Monmouth really were a cut above the others. They have a great investment in facilities. They've had success in basketball. And with both Quinnipiac with Fairfield and Monmouth with Ryder and St. Peter's, they had in-state rivalries. And that really is what fuels college sports, is the rivalry with the other institution. And we thought that was in a very good place to develop within the MAAC framework. So all that, they're great academic reputations, and I know they announced the medical school at Quinnipiac yesterday. It speaks to what President Lahey's really developed on that campus, both academically and athletically. And that's what drove us to both Monmouth and Quinnipiac.
Commissioner, thank you so much for your time, and congratulations on yet another successful event here at the Hall of Fame.
Thank you very much.
Jon Alba here with the president of Quinnipiac University, President John Lahey. And Mr. President, thank you for joining everyone here at the Basketball Hall of Fame.
Great. Well, listen, it's a great honor when you think that Quinnipiac's only been a Division I basketball program for 15 years, and to now be joining the MAAC conference this year and to have a display, in the National Basketball Hall of Fame here in Springfield I would say we're moving pretty fast from just being a Division II program 15 years ago to all of a sudden being here in the Hall of Fame. So it's a great day for Quinnipiac Athletics, and particularly for the men's and women's basketball program.
And we knew that this move to the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference would be a lot about athletics, but you've made it very clear this is just as much about academics.
Absolutely. We would not have gone to an athletic conference that didn't have the quality academic institutions associated with it. Basketball is very important. Obviously, when you're at a place like this, you think maybe it's the only thing that's important. But, the reason great universities like Quinnipiac do well is because they have great professors and great academic programs, and the students come here and they graduate and they get great jobs and come back and turn out to great professionals in their respective fields and careers. And so basketball and athletics is important, obviously, as a part of a collegiate experience. But if you're not associating with the best academic institutions, if you're just doing it for the athletics or the basketball, it could really be a drain on your academic reputation. And we wouldn't join a conference that would really detract from the great academic image and reputation that we have at Quinnipiac.
So we've touched on athletics, we've touched on academics. Well, what about architecture? Now, a lot of Quinnipiac fans are interested in seeing that what a move to the MAAC means for the campus itself, for the TD Bank Sports Center, for all the facilities. Are we going to be seeing some improvements down the line with that as well?
We are actually. You'll be seeing, beginning with this season, both on the hockey side and the basketball side, there'll be a new scoreboard that's being literally constructed as we speak. It's about a $3 million investment that we've made. It'll be far and away the state of the art. We'll be able to do video replays of shots and dunks and performances, and the graphics will be a significant improvement from what we've had. It will be the finest equipment in the MAAC conference. So we'll be joining the MAAC conference as the newest school. I think it's pretty well accepted. We have the best athletic facility, the basketball arena in the MAAC, and with these new scoreboards, it's going to be tremendous. And it'll also be terrific on the hockey side of it. So you'll see that improvement at least immediately beginning with this season in October.
And lastly, what does a move to this new conference mean for the school, not just now, but going forward into the future as well?
Well, I think particularly this conference and its emphasis on basketball and its exposure in New York City is very, very important. That's where, it's still the media capital of the world. If you're known in New York, you're known everywhere. The MAAC conference also has a very strong historical relationship with ESPN. That's very important to us. Obviously, they're based right here in Connecticut, hire many of our graduates, and they've been supportive of us as well. So I think the MAAC conference will clearly elevate Quinnipiac. You heard both coaches say how they can tell just on the recruitment side alone the heightened visibility and interest that a lot of coaches are giving in the greater New York area. So Quinnipiac, we're located in Connecticut, but we get more students from New York than we get from Connecticut, and New York and New Jersey combined is almost half our student body. So this conference will really blanket us in the geographic area where we recruit the majority of our students.
President Lahey, thank you so much for your time, and congratulations once again on the move.
Terrific. Thanks for all your work. Q30 is my favorite station, so good luck this year for a great year.
Thank you.
This was really our first chance to celebrate our invitation to the MAAC last December. As we all know, we had an awful tragedy, and we decided not to celebrate, and we still think of that town and those people every day. But this was a great tribute. The MAAC does it right, and to be here in a room with Red Auerbach and Wilt Chamberlain and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Larry Bird and Quinnipiac University just gives me goosebumps. It's the best building in college sports. And when our fans and our opponents and our TV stations all see the new scoreboards, it'll be the best technology in all of sports. So Quinnipiac does it right. I think we're thrilled to be in the MAAC. We're excited about having games at the TD Bank Sports Center. As the commissioner hinted today, there's a good chance that our first MAAC men and women's game will be together at the TD Bank Sports Center against two great rivals. So it's going to be a phenomenal inaugural year in the MAAC. As I said earlier, we're painting the MAAC logo on the soccer field as we speak. So we're looking forward to be the best member we could possibly be. Clearly, our basketball and ice hockey facility is the best in the country, I think. We need to now do that with our other sports. So we're meeting the architects, the university, the coaches. We're doing some significant planning. We have nothing to announce just yet because there's a lot of, permissions and budgets that have to be met. But I think the campus over the next few years are going to see facilities that are facilities equal to the TD Bank Sports Center. I think we've seen the split of many leagues in our last few years. The fact that there's no football. Football's a great sport, but whenever you have a conference where some play football and some don't, it leads to a sort of a broken conference that we just experienced. All these schools they don't play football. They're all private. They're all sort of Northeast centric. They all prioritize basketball. So I think that's really what it's stayed for us. They're all very good academic institutions. So I think their styles and their missions and philosophies are very similar to Quinnipiac.
And then lastly, how is Quinnipiac athletics going to be different this year from years past?
Well, number one, we're in the MAAC. Number two, we're hosting a NCAA Frozen Four, which we've never done before. We're going to have brand new scoreboards. We're undergoing an athletics master plan. But I think mostly not different, but the fact that we have very, very good coaches and very, very good student athletes for our entire Division I experience, that makes it, each year we do that makes for a better year.
Great, Jack, thank you so much for joining Q30, and we appreciate your time as always.
Thank you, John. Q30 is a good friend of athletics.